of 2 sessions of the afternoon breakouts. So glad to have you all in here. Quick introduction. My name is Matt Del Bonte. Been with AVEVA getting close to 3 years, but just recently joined the Connect team. Came in on the OSI high side of the business as a customer success manager. Focused mainly on utility clients in California, mainly Northern California, but then just recently our Connect team needed expansion, needed more support as we focus more resources on the Connect platform. So I am here. Prior to AVEVA, I spent 16 years with a specialty chemical manufacturer in oil and gas industry. A lot of not just process treatment, but also water treatment. So I've kind of seen everything in terms of water treatment as well in that industry. So I know we have a lot of municipal folks, water folks here today. So that's my history. And again, there's a lot of stuff with Connect, and we're all growing and learning as we go. So I've been with the team a couple months, so there might not be able to answer every question that you have, but I'm going to do my best to do so. And try to make this interactive. I know we have an hour and 15 minutes. That's a lot of time. And so definitely want to hear some questions. Please don't hesitate to interrupt. This is meant to be a little casual and be able to get you the information. So don't need to wait. Don't wait to the end. Yeah, right away.
We can incorporate the long-term strategy of it.
I can talk about that. I mean, really at the start and actually kind of get into it. You know, why we're here. As industries advanced and data changes, and there's a lot of folks out there, hyperscalers out there with data, and cloud capabilities have changed, right? The ability to store data has changed. AVEVA has made this realization the past couple of years that we need to change our corporate strategy, right? On-prem is great, on-prem is service for a long time, but if you don't change, you're going to get run over by that truck coming up behind you. So we understand that these challenges that we have, that changing your on-prem software isn't going to do anything to address all of this. All of our users, regardless of industry, I need to be louder. Oh, you need to get me back on. Yes, that's right. You're recording. Yes, absolutely. One of the biggest challenges I think everybody has, again, in any industry is information silos, right? I mean, and that is a consequence of having data just in your on-prem server somewhere. You have folks within an enterprise, within an organization that need access to data to be able to act on it, to create value out of that data. It's a big problem, and even more so, I think, recently since COVID. I think, again, every industry has been impacted in numerous ways by COVID and by remote work, and not everybody being in the office together, or people spread out amongst offices. So you have these information silos where people can't get to the data that they need, or they think they have all the data, and they really don't because they're unaware. So no, that's a big challenge. And then you try and solve this by connecting your data, but maybe it's inconsistent. You have the data from its source in A, and you try and upload it to database B, and then get it over to system C, and you have a game of telephone with that data. Is it really consistent? Do you have accuracy around that data? Is it confirmed that it's the right data? Right? Is it the right spot in each spot? Or is it hard, again, the responsiveness, are you having a hard time actually getting it? Is it some web-based client trying to connect with an on-prem server? Are you actually getting access to the data when you need it? Again, same thing with the remote and virtual teams. It's the world we live in. I mean, especially for municipal water, for a lot of municipal services, any real plant services, you're going to have people on site. That's never going to change. But a lot of your support, a lot of data scientists, a lot of analytic providers are going to be remote and virtual teams. So are you going to make them come on site to access the data? A lot of times not. And the ones that you need help with, you need to make sure that the data they're accessing is reliable. And then as we get kind of higher level and you start rolling up the data and you have access to it, okay, does everybody understand what's going on across the entire enterprise? It's gone are the days where just one plant can operate by itself and it's doing its little thing, and the rest of the business doesn't care about it, right? I mean, organizations want to have that enterprise view of everything that's going on and have it at their fingertips, as close as possible to their fingertips. And there's not enough tools out there. They're coming. to help with that, help an organization understand the data across its enterprise, and then the next level analytics. How am I really performing? Okay, great. Then the pH has been 7 for a long time. It looks good. But how about the entire value for the organization? Being able to share that data. And then again, higher level, that next step is thinking about the analytics, right? Being able to understand behaviors, what's going to happen in the plant, not just what happened. Is there some anomalies in that data? Is there problems with this piece of equipment? Being able to have easy access to those tools that will provide those answers. So, you ask about AVEVA's strategy. I mean, this is it. We know that we don't want to sell products to our customers. We want to sell solutions. And Connect is a solution, right? There's plenty of products out there. We want to drive and deliver a solution to these challenges.
Are you focused in the life science industry with validation and FDA regulation?
That is a great question. Yes, we know our product team knows that that validation piece, specific for life sciences, is something that needs to be addressed and to be solved from a product standpoint. We have a great use case with Roche in globally, really. I mean, from their headquarters in Basel, but globally combining the PI servers together. And they love what Connect can do for them, but there's still that data validation piece that's very important for drug manufacturing life cycle. So look for more of that to come out from our product teams. So, yeah. Okay, so there's the intro. Let's keep going. So some nice little marketing slides, some data. 73% of all data goes unused. Seems like a lot, right? I mean, there's a lot of data out there. We hear from industry, IoT. There's a lot of devices, things collecting data at all times. Are we really making use of the data that we can and getting the value out of it? And then 76% of business leaders find it difficult to understand the data. So even if you have it and you get it in your system and you're collecting it all, are you using it? And not only are you using it, do you understand it? All right, it's great to use it and create graphs, but are you getting education out of the data? Is the data getting to the right people who need it and easy to get to them? We want to have. So that's one of the whole ideas with Connect. Connect is a platform. Again, it's not really a product. Connect has products within it. Connect data services, visualization, advanced analytics, the new cloud versions of a lot of the heritage AVEVA software is all going to go into Connect. Connect is the platform. And so we're really going to focus, I'm going to focus on the middle three here, right? Data services, getting the data into the platform, visualization of that data, and then touch on the modeling and analytics. So it's important to know that Connect, again, is this data management tool. You have ingress from whatever source that you want, from remote assets using edge data, from your on-prem server, AVEVA Historian, Pi Historian, MES, anything like that, and then third-party data sources, right? We have a GitHub page where you can, copy code base and write code API calls in order to get data into Connect. And then once you're there, then you do the fun things with it, right? You have those pieces with it. And then the tools that come out of it, right? I mean, these are the tools that we want to give you, that we can give you and the people in your enterprise to get value out of the data. To not just have it, but to understand the data better and to make use of it. So sharing it, we'll get into a lot of these things, but you see them there. It's not just visualization, it's all the tools that come with it. Another way to look at it is an ecosystem. Connect is an ecosystem. We have our partners. If you talk to me at the expo outside, talk about the marketing behind this. It's not AVEVA Connect, it is Connect. And the colors are different because we are combining Heritage AVEVA, Heritage OSI Soft with Pi, Wonderware, ETAP, Schneider Electric, everybody coming together, an ecosystem of partners, and we're continuing to expand those partnerships with a lot of folks in the industrial ecosphere out there in order to bring systems and tools and solutions into Connect. So we talked about the one source of truth, making sure there's one piece of data, one understanding across an enterprise, And that's what Connect is going to deliver. One single source of data that can be trusted, one set of information about your plant, the intelligent twin. The experience is the same across the platform. Whether, again, you're working with data services, whether you're working with asset information management, whether you're working with advanced analytics, right? You're going to have one experience within the Connect platform. And then just this ecosystem of partners as well. We're having lots and lots of more partners sign up, providing their solutions and their services within Connect. This is just a kind of library showing you a big page of that, just everything that's out there. And I forgot to mention at the start, a lot of this could be some repeat from what you've seen in other presentations this morning and some other ones this afternoon, and that's by design. Right? I mean, our strategy, again, is to really hammer this home and to help understand the tools that are going to be available to all of you and to your organizations. So a lot of it's not just data, right? It's getting the operations control information up, some simulation and learning, pro tool tools, scheduling for, again, I don't know if there's any oil and gas, but supply chain management is going to be in Connect. So everything is going in together, a full library of our SaaS portfolio. Okay, so coming back again, we'll dive more into what actually Connect is, showing you some screen grabs, showing you what it is, getting into the meat of it. Gonna go into it in like 3 different iterations to show you high level, to get into the details a little bit, and then to actually show you some screen captures of what it actually looks like to really hammer home what the tools are and how to be able to use them. So data services. If you've been around, you might have heard AVEVA Data Hub. AVEVA Data Hub now is Connect Data Services. It's the same thing. So we're, again, a marketing branding effort to make sure that you know what it is. Data Hub is Connect Data Services. Okay, then visualization on top of that, and then modeling and analytics on top of that. Lost range. There we go. Okay, Connect Data Services. So again, you have ingestion from third parties, from AVEVA Historian, from remote assets. And then what data services does within this module, it's not just collecting the data, it's storing it, shaping it, contextualization. You create assets within data services. You know, so your pump GE01, your compressors, your drainage basins, whatever you want, however you want your asset. It's the same corollary to Pi Asset Framework, to your assets in Historian, shaping it, adding metadata, all of that. All that happens within data services. And there are some view capabilities. So there's some basic trending tools within data services. You don't have to jump all the way into Connect visualization services if you're just looking for a basic trend. And then once you have it, being able to share it. And not just internally, right? We think about internally, sharing your data within Connect is a lot easier than the Pi system, than AVEVA Historian, downloading data to an Excel sheet and emailing it to somebody, people that are not used to some of the industrial tools. Yeah. Yeah.
So, third-party data sources, are you focused on getting the IDBMS data from us?
Say that again?
IDBMS SQL Server, Oracle data?
Yes and no. It depends on the format that it's in. If you want to get that data in, if it's in, if it can be handled in like the OMF data format, then we can get it in. If it can be brought in via an API, then we can get it in. So it's mainly. I had some other good questions about this. About are you taking in financial data, right? Things like that. And at this time, Connect is mainly geared towards industrial data and then doing analytic data. Yeah, it's really time series data. We can coordinate in and bring in on the visualization side, bring in GIS data, right, to do maps and things like that. But the data services itself is going to be time series data, operational data. The kind of next level, we can skip ahead, you might have heard like Databricks is a really big analytics company. And you can connect, you say it a lot, to Databricks, to Snowflake. There's a lot of other third-party analytics providers that we play with, right? I mean, we're not going to restrict you to just AVEVA Advanced Analytics. So that is kind of that next level. If you have other financial, other institutional data, in another database, in a single database. You can connect that to your Databricks account, to your Microsoft Fabric account. We play well with Microsoft, they're frenemies. More friends than enemies, but depends on who you talk to. We love Microsoft. So we have no problem connecting it. So if you have additional data other than operational data, it depends on exactly what we're looking at. So all this sharing can happen internally, right? With now anybody in your enterprise who maybe didn't want to touch AVEVA Historian, they didn't want to touch those tools. They thought it was a little bit too complex for them. Connect is a lot easier. It's a lot easier to log in and to work with this data than it is in those other systems.
So is the data a lot more concentrated in Connect?
Yeah, it's a lot more concentrated. The way we put it together, so our engineers, our R&D group, created a sequential data store. It's a new way to store the data. And again, some of the screenshots will show you, it looks complex, but when you start clicking around, it's a lot easier to manage.
And there's a firewall between your historian and the Connect, and from Connect farther out?
So the platform itself has all of every sort of encryption and data security you can imagine. We have a trust site. I have a page on it, I'll tell you now. Trust.aveva.com details all the cloud security that we have, and then your enterprise handles your own user security, and everybody can have different roles and see what they can access. In terms of the data up, so data upload to Connect is encrypted. We have agents, and we, again, get in this agents that sit on the on-prem software to connect the data to your data services account, and all those encrypted and use only the ports that are allowed to have outflow data out of the secure sites. And then down the bottom is, I don't have a lot of slides on this, so I'll just mention it now. We talk about industrial ecosystem. So a lot of folks need to share data with other enterprises. One of our use cases is a third-party power producer sharing data back to the utility. And they're using Connect to share that data. We set up what's called a community. So company A has the data, uploads the data, they create a community with company B. And then so company B can log into their Connect account, and that data they see is right there. They don't have to worry about firewalls, VPNs, anything like that. And we know the data is secure in Connect because of the protocols that we use. And then at the top, the third party. So again, this is keep talking about Databricks and folks like that. There's other analytic providers out there, other machine learning tools, AI tools. If they can connect, if they can utilize an API, then we can send the data. And we're very happy to do so. We have customers that have created their own machine learning, their own large language models, and so they're sending data to those databases to do contextual searches. Very similar to one we showed with the AVEVA Industrial Assistant, but do that internally to the organization. So they can set up within their system, user can type in, hey, give me the average temperature of reactor 472 in the month of April, and their internal system spits that back out. So very similar to, again, what you saw with the AVEVA Industrial Assistant. So a lot of great tools, a lot of great sharing for Connect data services. So again, we'll dive into the details on the next iteration. And then visualization. So we know Insight, we know PyVision. This is the next step of this. Easier to use, cloud native. Your data is cloud native, so you don't have to worry about the connection from the visualization tool to that data source. That they live together in the cloud, and so the response time is a lot better. You don't have to worry about that connection giving out. And easier to use. It was built to be easier to use. So again, folks that don't have a lot of experience with industrial software, with using other visualization tools that might be a little too much to them, Connect Visualization Services is easier. You have the self-service aspect, easy dashboards that you can build. Say, yeah, I want this sort of trend, and here's the data, and it does it for you easier than an Excel trend. And then we have a lot of predefined templates as well that we'll get into, and I can show you some really cool stuff.
I have a concern in a way. Your data sources live in the cloud. It's good to share with other companies, but what if you operate in a chemical company where you don't really want that data to be in corruptions, or people can hack into that data source and do very major issues in the connect.
Yeah.
How, is there ability to secure that?
Yeah, so a few things. So like with Connected, your user management, if you only want, 10 people in an organization of 10,000 to have access to Connect, then yeah, I mean, you choose who you can have. And then it ties into your Azure AD or whatever identity provider you want to use, Entra, what have you. And you can set roles for people so that they can read only, they can do things. And then there's no connection back down to your data source.
Okay.
So it's one way only, and that's a great question. I might have skipped over that and forgot about that. So it's one way only data from your source into Connect.
I think she's talking about multi-tenant. Is the solution multi-tenant? And I think single tenant is also available. If security is
Is that the question about multi?
No,
No.
I'm concerned in like, when
Access
we
bad
have
actors.
hackers, bad actors.
Yeah.
They get into certain data that we have, it's very important to our plant, and it can do havoc.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
there's no control from.
There's no control.
Okay, so it's not going anything down.
There's no control. Yeah, you can get into your Connect Data Services account and then like
It's just
get into your
control.
TCS system and change. No. Yeah. There's none of that.
That's-
There's some stuff with like AVEVA Advanced Analytics with product quality and throughput models. It can say, hey, you want to change the set point to 89.1 instead of 83.2, and it'll tell you that, but it won't do it for you. So there are, and back to data services, there are write back features if you want them, but it's not a requirement. And again, it's only a write back of data. What some folks are doing is you take the data in data services, send it to third-party analytics, they crunch the numbers, tell you, whatever you want to know, send it back to Connect, and then write back to your on-prem PySQL. And that is just a write back of new data, not a control of it. And no corruption of the original data from the data source.
So I have to have my data from the servers going into the cloud for the Connect to be able to see that.
Yes. Yeah. And then again, it's, for any concerns like about the connection, about the security and all that, we have our entire security department that can sit down and have an excellent conversation with you about the encryption that is used and all the protocols that are used.
How to convince the manager is another story.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have a full team, like trust me, yeah, because we know, this is, it's a major issue.
Yes.
And it's a hesitation for so many people, and justifiably so. Because you hear all the stories and you hear the TV shows and they go out there, but the hacker typing it in. And it's a great concern we address it when we're talking about it for sure. So again, the great thing about this is the ability to do these dashboards. There's no code. There's no, again, like clicking into Excel properties and trying to define a graph. It's click, click, click. It's really easy to do, easy to adjust the different views. And then these predefined dashboards that, kind of when you're ready to implement stuff can get into more details about what's behind the scenes, really fancy things, and I'll show you at the end of the presentation what these are all about. And you've seen a few of them already at the expo and this morning. So you get some highlights thinking about, you can get data from multiple data sources, multiple locations onto one dashboard, right? Instead of collecting data from over here and putting it in a report, in a PowerPoint, a PDF, whatever, you can put them all together on one Connect visualization screen. So really easy to do.
How about some legacy data, like ours to?
Yeah, if your data is in that database anywhere,
Okay.
it can come up to Connect.
Okay, so you can build the API to talk to that legacy system.
Yep. Absolutely. A lot of great questions. And then also sharing screens, sharing a template can be done via the URL that's created. So it's not lost, it's easy to share these displays. And then the next level. So you got your data in, you've looked at it, and you want to start doing some analytics. So everything in Connect is different tiles, different modules. This isn't a requirement. If you're like, hey, Matt, I'm happy just looking at my data. Cool, it's all right. And so this is that next level of AVEVA Advanced Analytics, where whatever you want to do, you have throughput questions, you need to change a set point, you have things on product quality, online product quality analysis. One of the case studies, success stories we have is from a pet food manufacturer, that they weren't able to do product quality checks until a run was over. And really, weren't sure how good the quality of that pet food run was until the very end. They'd shut down, they'd do the testing, right? And then they'd have to make decisions about it. What they can do with advanced analytics is have that product quality calculations live while the run is going. And from all the other data that they have from that product run, they're able to, using advanced analytics, being able to determine if that batch is going well, if something needed to be changed. So, coming all the way around the alerting and notification aspects, anomaly detection, getting into some more details. So this is that next level. The data is in, you visualize it, and realize you need to run some analytics. All right, so thinking about the use cases, again, going back to some of the challenges and talking about the solutions we want to identify. So thinking about real world applications, things that you're doing out there. Enterprise level data and analytics. Proactively managing your energy uses. Getting stakeholders across the enterprise to collaborate together. Like the current investments, you invest a lot of money in your data, in your instrumentation, in your control systems. Okay, so what are you going to do with it? Oh, I was getting in the way of my clicker. There we go. Analyzing your large data sets, views of your data across long periods of time, making it easy, and then drilling down. So just a few ideas of putting all this information into what the actual use cases are. Again, just looking at this, another way to think about the Connect with the platform is we go from consume, analyze, access, integrate. We know that there's going to be a long history of your on-prem software. And that's, again, as I talked about at the start, it's never going to go away. So what Connect is doing is making sure you have this single interface to get that data from your on-prem data sources, from your on-prem software, and being able to integrate it into the cloud and actually make some use of it. And now thinking about flexibility, again, it's along this lines of on-prem and cloud together. We know we have a lot of remote data sources these days. So you want to take that edge data, you want to bring it to your on-prem server or bring it to the cloud, either one. Cloud and on-prem working together. We know that the future is not an either or. It's not staying 100% on-prem. It's not going 100% into the cloud. You're going to be able to have that flexibility. You need to have that flexibility to utilize both. And Connect, the entire platform, is built with that understanding. To be able to have users across both levels, to be able to integrate the data, being able to analyze it wherever you need to be. I would say too, we don't want to force people to go to the cloud unnecessarily. Right? I mean, there's a lot of controls people that will prefer to stay on-prem. And again, there's no problem with that, right? I mean, we need that. You need your DCS systems, your SCADA systems that are going to be on-prem for a long time. And so the connection between this all is a lot also what we're focusing on, making sure it's holistic altogether. Okay, so let's, again, talk about some more benefits, keep hammering this home, and then get into some more detailed screens. It's real time, right? It's not something in Power BI, even though we love Power BI, that you need to refresh. Multiple data sources, remote data sources across an enterprise on one screen. It is secure. It is very secure. We'll talk about that so that you don't have management, executives, business users trying to get into a secure grid system, somewhere they could potentially allow a hacker to follow them in and make control changes. And self-service access, right? Once you give somebody in your organization access to Connect, access to the tools, it's no code. They don't need IT, they don't need engineering. Anybody who needs access to the data can do so on their own. Analytics, very straightforward. The AVEVA Advanced Analytics, again, it's built for that first level of analytics tools, AI, machine learning, where you don't need code, that everything is click, drag, drop, and I'll show you some of the threads the way it's built. We have templates for you, and then if you want your own, you can build your own within the tool at the same time. So much flexibility. Here's some of the templates again talked about. Predictive quality, throughput, energy efficiency. So again, whatever you want to do, however you want to customize it for your enterprise. If you need just some basic stuff on energy efficiency, on improving the operation of a pump, improving the operation of a compressor, whatever you need. Throughput, you're running an operation, you're running a production line, and you want to figure out how to improve that throughput. Another one we're working on is an ethanol producer. They're looking at their fermenters, right, and how long to run the fermenters, and the predictive throughput, the predictive quality tools get in there. But then at the same time, you don't want to use these templates, you want to use your own, then our data scientists can help you with that. I forgot, I'm sorry, I have a few more on this analytics side before we get back into data services and showing you how it all works. Digital twins are part of AVEVA Advanced Analytics as well, and the Connect tools. So a lot of cool things about, the asset classes, and you want to build your digital twin, you can do so. And then here are the templates showing you how these things get built. Really easy to guide. And once you get the template built and you get your data in, it's really cool. It makes sure that it gives you that feedback that are you using the right template, that you have the right data in there. Is there a piece of data that's missing, right? Do you have XYZ? And everything is visual based, not code based, language based, so it's easy to learn this stuff. And customize the models, right? Once you get the initial model built and understood, then you can start playing around with it, refining it, doing custom visualizations, custom Python coding for it, custom algorithms to start training the data even more. So some really fancy, fun stuff that we can do within Connect. Notification, very important, right? So you set up your data, you're in there, you have your visualizations, you set up your analytics, you're using them, and now can also do alerts and notifications for you. And then these digital threads, these are nice. These are these workflows that help you understand that is all the data configured properly with the analytics tools. This is something that I just learned about recently, that it guides you to make sure that everything is set up, it's not just going to be this black hole where you throw the data and it tries to give you some analytics response that doesn't mean anything. It helps guide you, making sure that you have the proper workflow as you've built it all out. So the tool is great. We want to roll it out to additional customers where it makes sense. We have a lot of pilots going on right now, and a lot that are continuing in production. So if the advanced analytics you see need for it within your enterprise, you can talk to us, talk to the account manager, and we can go on there. Okay. So quick pause, and now really starting to get into showing you what Connect Data Services really looks like. And after that, the visualization. Okay, so how do you get started? What's the first thing that you do is getting that data up into your cloud tenant. So there are transfer agents that will connect with your on-prem Pi server, with your on-prem AVEVA Historian, that you download to, again, your on-prem equipment, and then you deploy them, connect them, get the data up. When we set this up with you, we talk about the transfer, setting up exactly which streams that you want to bring in. You don't have to upload your entire database. That'd be a lot in many cases, so you can pick and choose which one you want. And then we have adapters and our edge data. So we have these adapters communicate via the format or APIs to get your data in? Is that where you're going with the question?
Yeah, so AVEVA MES you mentioned, why did we have the adapters already?
Yes.
And so other third-party MES you will have to be.
Yeah, say that again.
If you have third-party other MES, you will have to be.
Yeah. So keep talking about the edge and directly into the cloud from these edge data sources. So if you have data sources that use any of those configurations, DB3, Modbus, MQTT, OPC, UART, DNS, all that can go directly into Connect data sources. You don't need to have a historian itself.
So in the control system, we often collect a lot of data. I mean, is there any way to find out which data set is not being used? Is how we improve the data transfer?
You mean like, so what data is it being used like on-prem?
Yeah, I mean, majority of our data system, we collect a lot of information and we send it to analytics, right?
Right.
At some point, we want to be able to not collect it if they're not being used, right?
Oh, I
So
see.
are you guys thinking about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. And that would be, as we would roll out the project with you, is doing that analysis of, okay, does it make sense to collect this data? Is anybody using it? We go back to those first slides, and we collect so much data, and only 20% of it is used, 70% doesn't use. Does it make sense to be collecting that data? Do you really need it? Is it just clouding everything out? Excuse the pun. Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, so yeah, the first step, data connectivity, you get it in. We have our agents for your on-prem server, or deploying the adapters from our edge data store to those remote data sources. And then the contextualization. So again, it's really important. We're getting ready to roll out automatic metadata syncing with PyAsset framework and a few other sources. But right now, you have to do some manual editing of the metadata. So you have the metadata, what it's all about, the region, the manufacturer, the data, reference properties, asset statuses, things like that. So that can all be configured within data services. So then once you get that metadata, then it's a lot easier to compare, right, across different asset classes, across different types of equipment. So that's the next step. And then once you have that metadata in, then you can start, grouping the data and doing the initial data view tools that are in data services. Again, what you see here at the bottom of the screen is in Connect Visualization Services. This is just the initial trending tools, the basic trending tools that are in data services itself. But then, so once you get in there and you have the data in, you can start figuring out also where do you want to send it to. Again, Connect Visualization is just the visualization within Connect. From data services is how you can start streaming and getting it out as needed. And then Power BI. We know Power BI is very important. A lot of folks use it. Everybody uses it for a number of different reasons. We have a native integrator from data services into Power BI. So again, very easy to use. If there's time, I can bring it up and show you. But again, you pick the streams that you want to have go into your Power BI system, and easy to buy. It connects, no problem. So. Yeah, zero code required. Unlike this one, so as each step here, we're getting a little bit more complex, a little bit more detailed, right? The next is, again, I talked about our GitHub page showing all sample code for all sorts of different applications. Somebody I was on a call the other day asked about Grafana. They use Grafana for visualization and certain dashboards, and yeah, no problem. Send your data to Grafana. Our idea with Connect isn't to make it into this fortress with a moat, and you can't, a dome, you can't get anything out of it. We want Connect to be your hub. Right? Connect is your industrial ecosystem hub for everything, and then you bring the data in, contextualize it, get some metadata in, and then be able to send it out to get the value out of the data. That's the whole point of this platform. Whether it's internal to the platform or you have a tool that you want to use that you need to use externally. So, API console is very easy to use. Somebody like me that's never configured an API went with one of our technical engineers and showed me it's a couple clicks and boom, it's very, very straightforward. So, it's a great tool. And then here we go with the granting users access. So you can limit users' access to individual streams. So again, we talk about enterprise visualization and data and streams from all over your company, from all your different sites. Well, supposedly you have, Joe only needs to see data from the wind farm, and Bob only needs to see data from the water plant. Well, you can do that and separate that with the data views inside data services. So it's a nice way to do all this. And getting them access to the trend. So again, this is, to repeat, I know I'm being a lot hammered this home, this is just in data services. This is an in Connect visualization. So being able to have just this straightforward set of data. And now, the next level, visualization. So once that's data in, you log in Connect visualization services and start looking at all the dashboards. A whole different set of dashboards and tools. Again, easy to set up, easy to define. You log into the system and you have all the different trends that you can do. I have some videos that I was showing during the expo, and I can share those as well, with showing, modifying each dashboard, moving things around, changing the templates. It's very, very easy to do. And then here you go, some more streams and some of the code. When you want to get this busy and this complex, it's very straightforward to start doing the codes and connecting with external AI and machine learning databases out there. And then this, I think, is my only slide again on the communities. We're scared of cloud data, rightfully so. We're scared of sharing in the cloud of hackers, but it's also more secure than sending email in an Excel file, right? For your data, getting it in the wrong hands. Emails, files can be forwarded. With data communities, it's in the cloud. It doesn't go anywhere. You control user access. You know who's accessed it. Your admin for Connect can see who's been logging in and who accesses the data. That's part of the platform itself, is the administrative tools, is you know who logs in and can see which stream at all times. So we can tell you that to make sure that only the right people, when you set up a community and share with the third party, have access, proper access to that data. And you, in a sense, can have unlimited communities. You don't have to have just one. If you have multiple partners that you want to share with, you have a chemical vendor, right? You have inventory gauges on your tank, on your chemical tank. And you want to go share with Univar or Veolia, whoever it is out there. And hey, log in, vendor, log into my account and you can see my inventory levels and come fill me up when necessary.
So it becomes vendor managed.
What's that?
It becomes vendor managed.
Exactly, yeah. So a lot of vendor management. Whatever you have the data in, if you have a vendor associated with that data, share it with them. Gives them better access again, instead of emailing the file, calling them, they can see it. Make it their responsibility. Okay, so the third iteration now. So let's get into go through everything again to really hammer this home. So this is what, you go into Connect and you need the software to go from your historian, whatever it is, to Connect. Boom, agent installer, download it. You log into your Connect account, make sure you're in there, you pick the right one, and you download it. The data's in there, you finish the transfer, you set up your assets. Make sure that all the data makes sense, that you've set up the properties, you've set up the metadata. Again, this is what it looks like.
So that's coming from AF and not data archive.
Say that again.
And so that's coming from asset framework, not data archive.
It is coming from data archive, and again,
But I mean, like over here on the right, the metadata properties and all that stuff.
yeah, so that right now is coming, it's coming if you have the, I'm trying to remember where we are with the stages yet because it's so dynamic. The data points are coming in, from data archive. The metadata from asset framework is not coming in. So if you have a data value in data archive, then it's coming. But the metadata not yet. So by the end of the year, I believe, our product is the same. I keep remembering on the slide. This slide reminds me is a lot of limitations folks have on Pi Vision, and I've heard the saying with AVEVA Insight is that hosting machine where you are can be slow to access data for whatever reason. It might be performance limited, it might be too small, might not have enough RAM, might have, whatever the capabilities are of that machine hosting. When the data's in the cloud, it's there, you don't have to worry about that, right? We take care of that for you, so you're gonna get rid of those performance limitations and the problems with trending that data that can exist in PyVision and Insight right now. You don't have to worry about it, is my machine big enough? Again, entering this home with now Connect visualization, so it goes from a white mode to dark mode. Multiple data sources across your enterprise, multiple data sources, AVEVA Historian, ETAP, Pi, Wonderware, what have you. Where if the data's in Connect, you can put it together in Connect Data Services. Being able to use GIS data on the user-defined templates, on the custom templates that we have. I'll show you. Any device, there's the other video that I can share later as well, talks about tablet. So, I think it's the most frustrating thing in the world when we need to look at something on our tablet or our phone and it's not mobile enhanced, right? It's not set up for mobile viewing. You see the desktop version, like, I can't see this, right? And so the Connect visualization is properly coded, so it knows if you're coming in with a tablet that the data view changes, and it's much, much better. So here we go. Really cool stuff. Again, with GIS data, with maps, whatever you want to do. Some of these custom templates that give you data across an entire enterprise, combining data into one. So we'll get out of the PowerPoint presentation in a second and look at this. And then here's what the homepage actually looks like for the advanced analytics for starting to train your models. Very simple, straightforward. Again, does not need a PhD in data science to work on these things. There you go. Model predictions, anomaly alerts. I'll actually show some of the other stuff, so I'm going to cruise through some of this. I always talk too much. Okay, so again, why Connect? I'll read the slide, read the slide. Comprehensive, secure, user-friendly data management layer. That's what Connect is. It's easy to build, it's easy to set up, there's no development required, it's web-based, there's no software coding that you need to do. If everything's ready, you can get online and using it in hours, not days or months. At scale, right, thinking about the scale of your data, it is the easiest way to get your data into the cloud. We have a lot of partners out there that do awesome things with data, getting data in the cloud, Databricks, Snowflake, all those guys, Microsoft, what have you. Connect, because we are native with your data in Pi and Historian. It is the easiest way to get your data into a cloud system. Any kind of sequential data, right? Edge data can come in and all the data sources into one system.
Do you need to worry about data compression on this, right?
Not right now. Yeah, not
That's
for.
a big problem we found between Pi and the data.
Yeah.
On the server.
And that's in a sense one thing we're trying to solve, because with network attack storage and do I compress it and transfer, using Pi system connector, Pi interfaces, what are my compression settings, and then you have to have recovery of storage database and wait for compression and all that. So you don't. That's part of it as well. We do that all for you.
But this is a problem. It's still a problem. This is a problem.
Yeah.
What was the question?
About compression. We have to worry about.
Oh, compression. Data compression. Oh, data, because this is my past life, that we found, when we have engineer analyze our data, they don't see what we see in real data. And they go, well, how come it's not the same? And we had been given it used to be it's not AVEVA, it's Pi that we go back and we say, how come these two data doesn't match?
Yeah.
And they were, the only time, at that time, the only thing they can say is the compression rates.
Mm-hmm.
But that had been, my past life is 10 years ago. It's still a problem. You say,
Yeah, is it, when you're
Fine
search,
tune it, yeah. I'm sorry? Fine tune the compression.
Fine tune.
yeah,
That's the problem. When we fine tune it, that's where we see the difference, the data difference.
yeah, so that's something that we would go over with your staff, our engineers, with before we get the data
Okay.
in Connect. I mean, I talked about at the start, one single source of data, right? One single source of truth. We want to make sure that
Okay.
what we upload
Figure that.
is the right one. But no, that's a great point. As you talked about, I understood your question a little bit more. Is going from one database, one data archive to another, different collectives, and comparing that data. And if they've had different compression put on them, then it's especially with high,
Time based.
It's
especially
not
high
only that,
high
it's the
frequency.
actual, say, I'm collecting eggplant every second.
Right.
I know, yeah.
But then that data is being compressed.
Yes.
So in Pi, it's kind of, in a way, I can explain it, it's extrapolated.
Right.
They compress it, and then when you expand that out, it's extrapolated. So they didn't trust that data, that's why they came back to us and say, well, what's going on here?
Yeah. No, it's, I mean, before you take your data and put it in here, right? We say one source of truth gives you contextualization, do your analytics. It's an important point. Which data archive are you pulling from?
And also how often.
was your
the
compression right?
rate is.
Yeah, was your compression right on it? Because what Connect does is it can Connect, when you upload from Pi, it won't change the compression. Whatever it is in the historian, there's no manipulation or changing the data as it goes to Connect. That's not even an option. It's you tell it, I want these streams, boom. It's whatever's in that data archive that you're connected to. It brings
So
it.
it's up to you what you have in the data.
It's up to you to make sure the data is right in your data archive before bringing it to Connect.
And once it gets to Connect, are you able to, or is the end user, I guess, able to adjust that aggregation if they want to see hourly, daily?
Whatever it is what it is. So yeah, so you can do, extrapolation maybe in the visualization side of it, but there's no modification of the data in Connect.
But if that's what the user wants to see, it's like, I need hourly data for this, and they have higher granularity than that, can they select to do that? Or is it just kind of like Pi Vision, it kind of is what it is?
It's Pi Vision, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, we can, show averages. I mean, that's the thing, can do trend lines and everything. It's a good question. Nobody's
I think
actually.
it's more
Yeah.
probably on you're talking about the data science side, having that exposed to people who want to pull the full time series data rather than more so that than the visualization. But
Right.
I'm trying to look at this as a way to give people data without having to get them a buy system.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, exactly. It's
We've
one of
got
the
different research teams coming in, they want to do different things. Some of them want raw data, some of them want hourly data, stuff like that. So is that like, can Connect accommodate for that?
Yeah, I mean, if they want the raw data, that's what's in there. So then the hourly data is, do they want the average? Do they want the max? And that's what there are some, like similar to asset analytics in AF, there are some of those tools in data services where you can get the max, the min, the average of that data over the past hour. So it really depends, if they want hourly data, what is it? Yeah.
Currently, there's no data lake reporting tool, right, for Connect. Do we have a reporting, kind of like a data?
No, not yet. It's almost like a service report.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
Connect data service data.
Not yet. Yeah, I mean, it's a great thing. It's all the visualization,
But we don't have it.
and then putting like a trend with a text box or something like that. I think that's
Do we have
probably-
third party?
the next step. I think we do. Yeah.
So could you export the data that's visualized and Connect the way you can in Pi Vision?
Say that again.
Can the user export the data from visualization the way they can in Pi Vision?
No,
So they see
Pi Vision
visualization.
doesn't work with Connect.
I understand that.
Uh,
But you have a visualization in Pi Vision, you can click export and see the time series data.
yeah,
Oh,
you can do that. Yeah. You can download a CSV file from not from visualization, but from the data views in data services.
Oh, data
Yeah, because when you get into Connect visualization, I mean, you saw the dashboard's a little bit more fancy, a little bit more things. So the straightforward trending that exists in Connect data services yeah, you say, hey, okay, that's great. I want that data in a CSV. Boom, no problem. It's just, yeah.
So you mentioned there that as a connect, using the connect, is there any choices that I can see the data like that trend? Okay, you send it to me maximum what you have in there, which is where the connect collects that.
Right.
And let's say that you see it one every hour, but I want to see it every 24 hours. Is it possible to go even, a little bit less than what you send it to me in the connect?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody sent you the Trino and hey, this is what you want, then yeah, you can modify it yourself.
Go farther
It's
down.
not, yeah, 'cause it's not sending you a picture.
Yeah.
Right, it's sending you the trend, and you still have all the tools within Connect Data Services
Okay, yeah.
to change whatever you want. So the one important page about digital trust, again, so this is, this trust page is cloud heavy, but it's also about all our on-prem software as well. So whatever you want to know about AVEVA security, trust.aveva.com, very easy. And the entire trust center talks about, it shows you the system status, whatever's going on, the descriptions, again, there's legal resources, that, things that we commit to from a legal standpoint when it comes to cloud security, and then some reviews about everything we take. Maybe got one more. Oh, a few more. So yeah, cloud native SaaS. There's no on-prem, element. All the upgrades are handled by us. So with Azure in mind that everything is secure. Yeah.
So this is a Viva data center. It's not Microsoft. It's not anybody. It's a Viva.
No,
So
it is.
AVEVA controls, manages this?
No, so we are partners with both Microsoft and Amazon, depends on where you are. So it's multi-tenant. And so yeah, it's not an AVEVA data center.
Okay.
So.
So
See all the,
AVEVA goes there?
what's that?
The cloud service and that,
Yeah,
it's to AVEVA and I'm going to other,
yes.
so it's.
The data is stored.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, so there you go. So hosted on Azure and AWS data center globally.
So is there a choice?
Yeah. 256-bit advanced encryption,
Excuse
everything in there. Yeah.
Do we make a choice to pick Azure versus AWS?
No.
That's.
So Connect is using the services from Azure and AWS both.
Yes. So, yeah, again, we have this whole security team. So when we want to get in, I don't have all those answers, but we have a security team that can sit down and have a very long conversation with you to make sure all the concerns are addressed in terms of who's hosting where, and the geography as well. We have the main regions that they have. So, again, we have international customers right all over and want to make sure that the data is stored right. But I mean, we have challenges in certain parts of the world where they don't want data stored outside of their country. South America is doing that, Middle East is very tough, Southeast Asia. So data residency is something that we are working on. For us in the U.S. and North America, right, it's here, it's okay, right? But other folks have some major concerns. Don't much time on just in the dashboard, so these are just some of the use cases, some analytics, vibration monitors on a piece of equipment being shared with the asset manufacturer. This is really cool. Upstream drilling wells and the equipment manufacturer sharing data from the site. Here's the pet food one I talked about.
What location?
For that one?
Yeah.
I don't know actually. I don't know if they told us.
I used to work with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty good story.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Colgate's a big MES.
Yeah.
They moved to somewhere in Kansas.
Yeah.
They used to have a plant in LA and then they closed that down.
She's still a Hills Pet here in California.
It's co-packed.
Yeah, something, because I know we deal with occasion.
Yeah, it's co-packed.
Okay, so a few, again, things to share kind of live. This is when you have your Connect Data Services account and you have your agents. This is this This is the data services screen. You have all the different spots, and then your data collection, my Pi agents. And then this is, showing the status of your agents. This is what it would look like. These are the tests that we have, right? Your regions, where they are. The main homepage gives you status of everything that's out here, what your systems would look like. Again, resource usage, some quick links, very nice things. And so here's what a trend would look like. We have one of our kind of well-used examples. I think in this morning you saw GE01, the wind turbine, right? Everybody uses GE01 for the stuff, and this is what it looks like. What's available to add stuff on the right. You have all the different information for this wind turbine, and then you see what's available down here. Yeah. So then, you hover, and you can see each one. And then you want to change.
And so how are the tags configured in here? Is that like you said that there's
Yeah. So do I have the right one? Yes. Let me see if I can get in.
is there a way to export what you have as a framework and it's not simplified?
From the asset stuff, I don't think we have any export.
So you just have to manually kind of do it. Is it templatized?
Yes, it can be. So this is where a lot of those active power things.
And you reference the Pi name.
Yeah. Yeah, because here are your asset types that are available. Show more. Yes. So when you create your agent, you name it, and then so Pi tags become streams in Connect, and so the stream name is connected to your Pi tag name. And what it does, it uses the agent that you have. The name of that is connected to the Pi tag name, and then that becomes the stream name in Connect.
Build all that connection, or it's automatically just, you can tell them to look for that.
Yeah, so just look for it. So the agent on your on-prem server, you tell it, okay, pick all these tags. Yeah.
And did you say that there are plans to make that asset framework information available to Connect kind of automatically through the agent?
Exactly. Yes. And then here's so this is the sequential data store. I want to show this. I think this answers one of your questions as well. So this is the search for streams. So here are all the streams, and then you want the stream list, and then export what is in there. You can do that. Yeah. So this one I can go back. Where did the view go? Where'd my graph? So this one, you have the download CSV right there. Yeah, this is the raw data that you see on the screen. So if you have just this is 1 day, whatever, you set your time on the trend and then download, and that's what you get.
And it's always going to be raw data. You can't pull like a monthly, pull a year after just give you monthly.
Correct. Yeah. I know people are going to be asking, more customers are going to be asking for better extraction of data for something like that. Because, again, we talk about your data is easier to manage in Connect than it is at the source. But you want something back on-prem to do some reporting on-prem with that information, with that contextualization. So we know that that's one of the things that's going to be in the queue.
The use case that I'm looking at is how can we have all these different people who have data requests. How can we get that out of getting them a CLI,
Yeah.
teaching the tools, all that kind of stuff. So we're working on a few different proof of concepts, and ultimately thinking like maybe just building something around API. That's the solution.
Yeah.
PC data stuff, you've seen that. Mm-hmm. Their utility export tool that they just built on a website.
What they're doing is very, very impressive. And what we've seen, it goes back, and this is one of those cool predefined templates for water system to show you. But then what what some people do is, when Pi Vision came out, we had some new Pi customers that just waited for it instead of doing process book and then moving things to Pi Vision. And so it could be a similar thing for Connect and Connect visualization. Instead of getting people on-prem and keeping them away from Pi System Explorer and just giving them Pi Vision access, well, you can also just give them Connect access. Is one of the opportunities as well.
This is a money question.
Yes.
What if you're trying to evaluate, should you have Pi database versus data services?
The-
You do without Pi, you already have like historian database.
So I think it would be, unless you have, so how do I put this? You're always going to need, your Pi historian, I would say, for a major control system. If you have remote data, right? You have your plant over here. You have remote data that you also need. But if it doesn't need to be in the plant as well, that remote data never really does need to go into your Pi historian. Because we do have the ability, again, with the edge data store, the adapters that connect to those data sources, to send, if there's connectivity wherever that peaceful commit is, to be able to send it directly into Connect. So, a lot of it is packaged together because we know it's kind of an edge case, that be able to have just remote data going into Connect. But a lot of it is packaged together. That's why you have that corollary between the Pi historian.
So you have to have like a historian there before you can put Connect services, data services.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Tell me more about what you're.
Well, we have system platform.
Right.
We have historians.
Yep.
But in order for us to interpret the data for other people to use, we have to build a viewer, historian viewer.
Right.
So then every time they need something different, we have to build it for them. What we want to do is put Pi system in and say, you do it yourself. Here, whatever you want, you can analyze it. But right now, the cost of Pi is a little bit pricey.
Yeah.
So when we hear about this, we were thinking, we don't need Pi, we
Right.
just do data service.
Yeah, and yes, you don't. In that case, you don't need one. You can go directly from the historian.
The
historian to Connect.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then
Sorry if
add
I
on,
wasn't clear before.
then add on all the data into it,
Yes.
like GPS,
But they can't.
access management.
So again, so the in Connect Data Services is operational time series.
Okay,
Within Connect Visualization, if you have other sources, again, this morning with the visualization of the winter,
yeah.
right? That's Connect Visualization. So data services, just your data, time series data. I can trend it, I can textualize it, I can share it, I can download it as a CSV, and then Connect Visualization then takes that data and then takes data from your other AVEVA systems, from Information Manager, from System Platform, from GIS tools, from anything else that you want to bring in, from equipment diagrams, manuals,
Yes.
what have you.
That's on visualization.
Yes, that's on visualization. Yeah, Connect Data Services is your
Just the data.
Connect Data Services is your historian of the cloud. It
Okay.
is your native cloud historian that collects data from MES, from historian, from Pi, from edge data. So that's
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Can you say that clear historian in cloud?
So I mean that's basically the way to think about it. Is Connect Data Services is your data historian in the cloud. And so getting it there, making it cloud native, then enables you to use all the cloud tools a lot easier than a web-based portal connecting back down to your on-prem server.
Yes, yes.
Right? It's that connection that a lot of times causes issues. Is it synced right? Do I have the right data? Right? I had a use case where a Pi Vision user was looking at the wrong data because the Pi Vision server was connected to the wrong collective member in the Pi Data Archive. And with this, you don't have to worry about it. It's one source of the data. We can connecting Pi data collectives to connect is a separate subject. It's important. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, that you don't have to worry about that. Am I looking at the right set of data on my web client with Connect? Because it is cloud native. That data is cloud native. You set it up, you get the metadata in there, you contextualize the data from your on-prem historian, you make sure that agent stays up, and then you don't have to worry about whether it's right or not when you're looking at it in the cloud visualization.
So in this visualization, can you put the type of data? So it's pointing at that, you're not storing anything.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Connect visualization is not a separate storage. It's pulling it from the data sources, from your sequential data source.
And this is part of operation control.
It is not.
No, it's not.
Well, you get like a limited set of streams that you can set up in ops control. So you get 200 streams you can put up there, but it's a separate, like a separate amount of flex credits.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have operations control. Pi users have my Pi server, my Pi license, and then Connect. Storage is free. So again, this is all account manager conversations with your sales rep, your account manager. Storage is free. You can store 10 million streams in Connect at zero charge. It's the charge is based on access. An average of 200 streams a day is free. Anything over that is you start burning the flex credits. Connect visualization is 5 monthly active users. And then after that, you start getting charged. The cool thing with the streams is you don't get like double charge. If you have 10 users looking at the same 200 streams, that's no charge. So it's not number of views, it's number of streams accessed.
How much is free, how many streams are free?
200. Yeah.
So Connect which
Question, because we are sharing with other people, so is it shared between the users or I can share with my coworker that he doesn't need to be a user, he just needs the data?
So yeah, so the difference, so if it's within your enterprise, within your company, then you're just in your Connect tenant, right, within that Connect data services. If it's a third party, somebody outside your company, then that's when we help you set up a community. And the community is, again, you have a chemical vendor, an equipment vendor that needs system vibration data. You set up that community with that third party and say, okay, I only want to share these 5 streams with that guy. I only want to share these 10 streams with that guy. And then we set them up. A lot of times, if they're not an AVEVA customer, we have something that's $0 order form that just sets them up so they can get access in Connect. And they sign terms and conditions, and then off they go. And when they log in, the data is there for them. They don't have to do anything else. So that's the nice thing.
So can you share some system architecture diagram for the visualization portion, which data sources it can connect and how
You like a visual representation.
the visualization you mentioned about the
I think we have it. Yeah, to talk to me after, I'll make sure I answer the question. Okay, so I think
Do you have this presentation accessible when we go home?
I can make it. Yeah.
It's not absorbing a lot.
I know, it's a lot. I mean, I thought we were gonna have a lot of extra time. There've been a lot of great questions, and
We'll get all
yeah.
these posted.
Yes,
We'll have
please,
it posted.
yeah.
We'll probably take about a
Please
week.
do,
Yeah.
please do. So
And we
can
have
get to
all
it.
this being videoed right now.
Yeah. It's my first time on video
Yeah.
in a while.
I was distracted. So did you say that we can do like Netflix and share passwords in between our users within our company, or
No.
We can't share passwords.
so not like Netflix?
Yeah. Not like Netflix. Camera off. I steal Netflix. Okay. No, it's all based on your company's basically your Active Directory, whatever identity provider that you use. So it's like single sign-on idea, where you log in and we verify a user's identity with your identity provider. It's all good. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So the community then is you set it up, and so that's then you designate an admin for that third party, and they're the first one that gets login access, and then they share it.
Okay. All right. I like that.
No. That violates our terms and conditions. Yeah. Cool. I know we have a little bit of break. If there's any other questions, please come up, ask, and yeah, we'll share the presentation. Any other questions? Talk to your account manager. We have a huge Connect team and looking forward to doing more with you guys. So thanks so much. Appreciate it.